Good morning to you this Saturday morning here on Sactown Sports 1140. I'm your host for the True Sports Card Show, Emran Pilati, and I'm solo today without Whitey Gleason. Whitey is in Southern California enjoying a well-deserved vacation. We've got the wrap-up of summer here, so it's really important that he spends that time with the family, and I think he's doing that right now. Speaking of spending time with family, if you're listening to this, I'm currently with my family. Beckett, my son, just turned 3 yesterday. So happy birthday to Beckett. And we are currently at our party. So I'm recording this just a couple hours before we're meeting up for our family get together. So we have like 40 people coming to his birthday party, a ton of kids, a ton of adults. And we're starting early because it's going to be 103 today. And I know that I don't want to be out in the heat, so Jessica set this thing up for us to be able to go and have the party starting at 9 a.m. So we're going to start feeding the kids sugar early. They're going to have a splash pad, have fun in the water. Parents will have lots of shade and beverages and food, and we're going to load them all up and hopefully be dispersed by 12 noon. So my game plan was to record just a couple hours before, so that way you guys could still enjoy the show, I hope. Just by myself, you're going to enjoy this show. So I wanted to kind of update you with some housekeeping with some items that are happening soon. Thank you for tuning in this Saturday morning. I apologize that I'm not live, but we will be back live next week. And with that said, I'm excited that our guest next week will be Dan Anderson. He is the co-owner and one of the premier breaking companies. He's of the owner of one of the premier breaking companies that's been around for a really long time. You've heard the name Mojo Break. They've been around for a really long time. They're in the San Jose Bay Area. They've been breaking online for years, coming up on probably 16, 17 years. They used to be on Breakers TV and all the other platforms that used to happen before Whatnot and before Fanatics Live and before all these other methods. They've been around for a long time. Dan is the owner, has been one of the influential voices in our industry for a long time. He agreed to make the trip out to Sacramento to come and be live in studio with us. So we'll be able to take calls with Dan, speak to him about just the industry of breaking, where it's gone, where is it going. A lot of people don't like breaking. They find it to be one of those that's not something that people would enjoy, or maybe they're against breaking. I don't break. We don't break cards online or streaming. Not that we won't in the future, but we just don't. That's just not our niche. And Dan and his crew are just experts in this. They have a excellent podcast, the Mojo Break podcast. They've been around for years doing that, so definitely subscribe to them. Give them a listen. I do listen to them every week, sometimes on the way to the studio to record or do our live radio show. I'll listen to them as well. But I think one of the most important parts about Dan's insight will be where breaking is going. We know that in order for people to find affordability in buying boxes, especially hobby boxes, they tend to want to get into a break for a fraction of the cost of what it may be if they were to buy the box by themselves. And with that said, the reason why I know breaking is very important in our industry is because when we have walk-ins that want to sell to us their cards, I ask them, what's the reason for why you want to sell this card, or why is it that it's time to sell? I always like to ask that, even if I may not care as much. I really do want to know where they're sourcing their cards from, because I don't know if they're ripping their own hobby boxes or if they're, buying into breaks. And I'd probably say like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 people say that they got their cards online through a break or Whatnot or whatever it is, and they're not emotionally attached to it. They just happen to get that card in a break. So it's pretty cool because we get to see the ecosystem of a breaker opening it, streaming it online, the person who bought into the break receiving it, the person that bought into the break may want it, may not. They come in, they resell it to us. We sell it to somebody else who wants that specific card because it's part of their collection, and so on and so on. So this ecosystem of breaking is really important, and we're going to talk to Dan about the inside of that. So very excited to have him with us next week. Me and Whitey will be back live with Dan, so that's exciting to see. All right, we have one of the biggest shows in Northern California happening that we're putting on, the Sacramento Autograph Expo. We've talked a lot about it. I have the lineup in front of me. I'm going to give this a shout about what's coming up. So let's start with the dates. The dates are going to be September 26th, which is a Friday, 27th, which is a Saturday, and 28th, which is a Sunday. The hours are going to be on Friday from 3 to 7. It's kind of like a preview day. Saturday, 10 to 6. Sunday, 10 to 5. And we anticipate 130 dealer tables selling everything from cards, memorabilia. Some will have Pokemon, but real focus will be on sports cards and sports memorabilia. I wanted that to be part of what the show was about. There's so many shows right now that are heavy Pokemon that us card collectors, sports card dealers, sports card collectors, hobbyists, we're frustrated because we're finding the needle in the haystack, and the needle is sports card dealers. So I wanted us to focus on that. That's my specialty. That's what we do. It's not that we're against Pokemon. It's just that the Pokemon stuff has been saturating the market. So we wanted to do something a little different. So we're really all focused on sports cards and sports mem. And with that said, we've got the lineup, and I'm going to read this to you here in a second. You could go online right now to sacautographexpo.com and pick up your tickets. The lineup is there. We are finalizing the times for the lineups, but I can tell you just about who's going to be where, when. So let's start with our Friday afternoon. We're starting at 3 o'clock. It's kind of a preview day. We have people coming in. The dealers will be setting up in the morning, and they'll have to be ready to go when the doors open at 3. So they'll be set up by 2 o'clock. And we have 4 autograph guests that day. For those of you that are baseball enthusiasts, specifically people that are looking for a blast of the past, I've got it for you. We're going to start with a local legend who lives here in this area, Lloyd Moseby. He was a third baseman. He was an outfielder, played for the Blue Jays in the 80s and early 90s. Lloyd Moseby is one that played his entire career with the Blue Jays. He was an all-star, was a key component to that team there in the Blue Jays. Bringing him on board, we have Lloyd Moseby showing up as well. So he'll be there first. We have Terrence Long, T. Long, who played for the A's in the 2000s. Terrence Long was a fan favorite, an outfielder, somebody who played with hustle, desire, really endeared himself to the Oakland fan base. Terrence Long will be joining us. He's flying all the way from the East Coast to be a part of our show. We have Bill North. For those of you that don't know that name, 1974 World Series champion with the Oakland A's, Bill North. He was known for his speed, one of the stolen base leaders. I think he was a 2-time stolen base champion in the 70s. Bill North, a key component to the World Series team of 1974 for the A's. And, of course, Matt Noakes, who will be visiting us for the second time. I'll explain to you shortly here. The first time they'll be joining us, which is going to be in early September. But Matt Noakes, the Detroit Tiger, the 1987 All-Star. You may have remembered his 1988 Topps card, where he was the Rookie Cup designee for 1988 Topps. He also played for the Giants for a short time in 1985. But of the 80s, we got Matt Noakes. Now, I talked a little bit about getting your tickets. We have VIP tickets. VIP tickets are $95. It includes all 3 days for your entry into the show. If you were to buy your show tickets separately, it'd be $10 on Friday, $15 on Saturday, $10 on Sunday. You combine that all together, that's $35. The VIP ticket includes all of that. It also includes a free ticket, one free autograph for each one of the players that I'm going to announce. So that way you're able to go and meet that player, get your item signed. We'll have plenty of stuff for you to buy if you don't have anything. So we have jerseys, we have photos, we have baseballs, we have mini helmets for our football players. We have everything. So if you don't have something, don't worry about it. We'll have it for you. But you're going to get one free ticket for each one of the autograph guests that I tell you. We have some paid ones that you have to pay the fee for. But I'm going to tell you, we've got 12 free autograph guests when you buy a VIP ticket. Now, you're able to buy a ticket on your own if you don't buy a VIP, and that costs a little bit of money. But this year, one of the things I kept hearing was, Emmer, let's get some affordable options in here, because last year we had guys like Dennis Rodman, Randy Johnson, Ricky Henderson, big names, but big prices too. And it put a stretch on the wallet. So what I want to do is make this affordable and make this to where you guys could get a lot of autographs for some great players included in the VIP. So the VIP includes, again, as I recap, 12 free autograph guests, 1 autograph each, admission to the show for all 3 days, and a bunch of other goodies. I'll explain to you. That's $95. For $125, you get the super VIP. That's going to give you all of what I just said, plus parking passes for all 3 days. That's a big value there. And don't forget, not only are you going to get the 12 people, you're going to get the fast track, meaning that you don't have to stand in line. You're going to be ushered right to the front so you can get your item signed. And then on top of all that, we're including 1 free photograph for you to be able to use for each one of the 12 guests. So that's pretty exciting, right? So now you get something to get them signed. You're getting 12 autographs. You're getting free parking. You're getting admission for the show for all 4 days. You're getting fast pass to where you don't have to stand in line to get an autograph guest signed. That's all there for $125. There's limited VIPs, limited super VIPs, but they are available right now on the website, sacautographexpo.com. Now, I just mentioned Friday's guest, Lloyd Mosby, Terrence Long, Bill North, and Matt Noakes. All 4 of them are included in the VIP for free. You're welcome to buy the tickets individually if you'd like. Mosby, Long, Noakes, they're all under, they're all going to be under $20 if you decide to just get the ticket on your own. Let's talk about Saturday. So we have our show coming on Saturday, the 27th, and we have an incredible lineup. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right about 18 people signing that day. So let's go through the names. We have 5 current A's roster players that are going to be there. The A's are playing that night against the Royals, but earlier that morning, starting at about 10:30, we're going to have our autograph lineup. And of course, everybody's favorite, and he just had his streak broken tonight, I believe. I'll double check. Tyler Soderstrom, the outfielder for the A's, the young stud, Beckett's favorite player because Tyler was so good to him while he did our signing at our show, at our shop. Tyler Soderstrom, let me see if he had his streak broken tonight. He did. I'm just checking the stats. Excuse me here. Did Tyler have a hit tonight? I'll have to look and see. I'll do the research while I'm talking. Tyler Soderstrom will be signing autographs. He is a paid ticket, but you can go to the website and pick up your ticket for Tyler. Second up, we've got Willie McIver, who's a great call-up this year. He was been in the minors. He called up, played catcher, has done a really great job. He's going to be part of the lineup on Saturday. Carlos Cortez, another minors call-up. He's been great since he's been in the big leagues. Carlos Cortez, he's been playing some infielder. Justin Sterner, a relief pitcher for the A's. He's been pitching well as well here near the end of the season. And Max Schumann, who's been an infielder, utility player, great player as well, somebody that's been playing almost every day. Willie McIver, Carlos Cortez, Justin Sterner, Max Schumann, all 4 of them on the roster right now playing for your Sacramento A's, all included free in the VIP when you buy the VIP ticket. Tyler Soderstrom is not. However, he is a very affordable purchase on the tickets if you want them. 5 current A's that are going to be on that lineup. We also have more baseball players. How about 1998 Rookie of the Year, Ben Grieve. Ben Grieve, the former A, is going to be joining us as well. Ben Grieve, I want to say 1998. Let me just make sure that he wasn't 1996 because back then it was just one of those times where it all blends. It was our high school years. In 1996, let's see when Ben Grieve won his, I know he was the AL Rookie of the Year. Let's see here. Ben Grieve was Rookie of the Year in 1996. 8. I was right. 1998, Ben Grieve was Rookie of the Year. He'll be joining us for the lineup on Saturday. He is included in the VIP. So if you buy a VIP ticket, Ben Grieve will be one of your autographs that you'll get for free. How about Lance Blankenship, the 1988 World Series champion, or an 89 World Series champion. Because the Dodgers won in 88. A's won in 1989. Lance Blankenship, the infielder, the utility guy, the glue guy, he will be joining us as well. Lance Blankenship of your Oakland A's, and he is also free as part of the VIP package. Let's talk about who else is joining us from the A's. How about the stud, the guy that played for the most teams ever in MLB history, and also the career home run pinch hit leader of all time, Matt Stairs, the big lefty, is going to be joining us. Matt Stairs will be signing autographs. He's going to be one of the paid tickets, but incredibly affordable. Come meet the stud, Matt Stairs. He'll be there at the Autograph Expo on Saturday. Again, also, we have an additional unique autograph guest. How about a WWE or WWF, depending on what years you're thinking about it? Greg the Hammer Valentine. Greg joined us in our very first expo that we had November of 2021. He's back. Love having the Hammer there. Greg the Hammer Valentine, a very affordable autograph. You can get his tickets here on SacAutographExpo.com. Greg Valentine, the Hall of Famer, one of the greats, one of the Intercontinental Champions. He was a tag team champion, a great guy, a good person, and can't wait for you to be able to meet Greg Valentine. We also have a stud from the Kings, a guy that has played at several spots, one of them with the Kings, the 1986 Slam Dunk champion. Spud Webb will be joining us on Saturday, the 27th. Spud Webb played for the Kings for several years, a fan favorite, 5'7", and won the Slam Dunk contest. A great guy. I met him in Dallas for the first time a couple of months ago. Just a super person. We're having him come all the way from Texas to come and join us. He'll be signing autographs on the 27th. And then we have to counteract a King with some Lakers. And when I was on the Drive Guys a couple of weeks back, I had mentioned some of the names, and people were excited about these names. The first one's going to be a top 50 player of all time in NBA history. One of the greats, big game James Worthy, will be joining us. One of the Showtime Lakers, somebody that was pivotal in those multiple championship winning years with the Lakers and Showtime. We've got James Worthy, one of the best players in the history of the game, joining us on Saturday, the 27th of September. We have the Big Smooth. We got a guy that shot three-pointers, played for the Dallas Mavericks, then he played for the Lakers, among other teams. He also played for the Seattle Sonics. How about Sam Perkins? Sam Perkins will be joining us and signing autographs. He's got great pedigree. Not only did he play for the NBA for more than 10 seasons, he also was a champion in the college and NCAA with the North Carolina Tar Heels. So if you have your Tar Heels stuff, or you have your Lakers stuff, or you have your Sonics or Mavs stuff, come and meet Sam Perkins. Get your autograph. Buy your ticket right now on SacAutographExpo.com. And then, of course, the controversial one that people were roasting me about, because we're here in Sacramento, but he agreed to make the trip, and he's going to be here signing autographs. We got Big Shot Bob, Robert Ory is going to be there. Now, he's ripped the hearts from Kings during that season, that game one where Lotte tipped the ball out, got right in the hands of Robert Ory. He dagger three'd us and beat us for that game one win. Kings should have still won and gone to the NBA Finals that year. Unfortunately, the refs were against us, and I still believe that. And that game 6 was just something else to where we couldn't overcome all those insane fouls at the end. But Big Shot Bob Ory will be here signing autographs on Saturday, the 27th. And finally, to wrap up that day, we have the Hall of Famer. And get your legends while you can, because, you know, the as they get older, they'll make fewer and fewer appearances. But this guy is one of the greats, a local legend, as well as an Oakland Raiders legend. We got Fred Biletnikoff, the Hall of Famer. They named an award after him in college because he was just so good as a receiver. We have the history-making, the wonderful, and actually a great guy. Fred Biletnikoff will be signing autographs Saturday, the 27th of September. So that's our lineup. So don't forget, when you get the VIP ticket, you're also going to get these guys free on Saturday. Willie McIver, Carlos Cortez, Justin Sterner, Max Schumann, Ben Grieve, and Lance Blankenship, among all of the other autograph guests. Those guys are going to be included with VIP for free. And then finally on Sunday, we made a move. We shifted one of our key players over to it. We've got the future Hall of Famer, 49ers legendary running back, and the third most rushing yards of all time with 16,000 under his belt. Frank Gore will be signing autographs on Sunday the 28th. A great ticket at an affordable price. Check out Frank Gore, SacAutographExpo.com to buy your ticket. We also have my friend of the shop, friend of True Sports Cards, friend of the show here. We've got Rick Barry, one of the greatest players of all time. So not only do we have Worthy on Saturday, but we have Rick Barry, the Hall of Famer, the legend from the Golden State Warriors, and 74 champion Rick Barry, one of the great scorers of all time. You know him for the granny shot free throw. One of the really amazing people that I've ever worked with. I'm very fortunate that Rick and I have a great relationship. We have a business together that we share. I've worked with him for many years, represented him at times. We're excited to have Rick be a part of our Sunday. How about two local Sacramento legends included in your VIP as well? How about LaSalle Thompson? Tank Thompson is back. We love having LaSalle, one of my favorite guys of all time. You want a story? LaSalle's got a story for you. One of the fun guys to work with and get autographs and get to meet. LaSalle Thompson will be part of it. He was one of the original Kansas City Kings that came over, part of the Sacramento Kings, and one of the first players to ever don a Sacramento Kings outfit, uniform. And so happy to have him here locally and be a part of it. And finally, rounding us out, we've got the legendary WNBAer and multi-gold winning champion basketball player, Ruthie Bolton, will be joining us. And not only will Ruthie be there, she is part of the VIP as well. So LaSalle Thompson, Ruthie Bolton, you're getting both of them part of the lineup for your VIP. So guys, it's an exciting time. I've just announced the entire lineup. We have 130 dealer tables. We'll be in two different sections of the Roseville Fairgrounds, the Jones Hall and the Johnson Hall. Tons of autograph guests. We are still adding more players, but there's your lineup at the moment. So we anticipate another 4 or 5 players that might be joining us. We'll keep you updated. But right now, as it sits, buy your VIP tickets right now, $95. Super VIP, $125. You're getting 12 autograph guests for free as part of that package. Or you could just decide to come in, go 1 day, 2 days, buy your tickets for those days, and get your autograph, guys. If you want to only come Saturday, that's fine. Come and buy your Soderstrom ticket. Come and buy your Spud Webb ticket. Come and get your Bolitnikoff, Worthy, Ori ticket, Greg Valentine ticket, Matt Stairs ticket. They'll all be available for you as well. And every single player, no matter who it is, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you just want to buy their single ticket, you're welcome to do that too. You won't have to buy the VIP if you don't want to. Whew! All right. One more thing that I want to tell you about. We have the upcoming, that's going to be our Junk Wax Rip Night. That's happening September 7th. I'm sorry for the big commercial, but it's really important that I get these announcements out to you before we talk more about the sports stuff. We got Junk Wax Rip Night, just $20. If you go to truesportscards.com, go to the site, look up Junk Wax Rip Night or upcoming events, you'll be able to get your ticket. More than half the tickets are sold. What do you get? So from 5 to 7 p.m. on Sunday, the 7th of September, we're going to be opening all kinds of packs like 1986 Topps rack packs, 1988 Topps baseball, 1990 Ultra football. We're going to have a great time. So $20 get you drinks, pizza, and a lot of fun because you're going to get 20 packs. Your choice. I'm going to have hundreds of packs laid out. You can pick any 20 packs you want. And best of all, we're going to have Matt Noakes there. Yes, I mentioned him at the expo, but he'll also be at Rip Night. The fun part about it is Matt can talk about some of the players as you're ripping the packs. You know, did you ever play against this guy? Tell me about that guy. Don't forget, Matt Noakes also caught Jim Abbott's perfect game. He was the catcher during that game, so he can share some stories about what it was like in the big leagues. Matt, still to this day, as in 2025, teaches and coaches baseball. So he helps people hit, field, etc., and he'll be able to give you some tips as well. So an exciting time. We're going to have Matt Noakes with us. Go to truesportscards.com, go to upcoming events, and you'll see the Wax Rip Night. There's about 20 seats left. We're only doing a total of 50 people in totality, so that way everybody can fit in the shop and have a great time and mingle and mix. So it's well worth the time and effort to make that happen. All right, enough of the commercials. Let's talk about some stuff as I'm losing my voice And my son's birthday party is just a few hours away. So hopefully I can say, hey, Beckett, get over here. Beckett, get over here. Yeah, I'll use that as my outside voice. All right, guys, we have some news here. This past week, we've had some new product come out. 2024 Immaculate Football. It's sitting pretty expensive. Now, some of you like Immaculate, some of you don't. I can tell you that I don't carry a lot of this product, and the reason why I don't is because of its expense, how pricey it can be. Immaculate Football sits right around $1,500 a box. And what do you get with it? You're getting 6 cards in the entire box, 1 pack. It gives you 5 auto or mem and 1 base parallel of the 6 cards. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of it is because it is non-game worn or game used. It does have player worn. It does have them, putting on the jersey, taking a picture that they wore it, taking it off, having cut up. But there's just nothing like game used jerseys. Topps and Fanatics have done a pretty good job about starting to enter more game used jerseys, game worn jerseys into the patches, but Panini struggled with it. Now, if you recall the old days, 2000s and late 1990s, Upper Deck was the king of a lot of the product. When you think about, some of these iconic names like SPX or SP Authentic, these were Upper Deck names. They had Upper Deck, just traditional Upper Deck, base product. All this stuff had game-used jerseys in it, and they were literally game-used. Not just some relic that was put on by a player, but pulled from a game. In some cases, you would see stuff that would have stains on it from the game or, have some dirt on it because it was a football piece that had been cut up and put in the jersey. Those are few and far between. So when you look at an immaculate product, you really have to pull some fire in order for you to recover your box. But when you do pull it, it's big. And if you look at the 2 key names that are coming out of any 24 product for Panini, it's going to be J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix. And when I say that, I mean the autographs itself. Now, I've said something that you guys have already heard, obviously. You want Penix, you want McCarthy. They are not Topps Fanatics exclusives like the other guys like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. The only way you're going to get them is in unlicensed product like Topps Chrome Football or Topps Finest Football. Those are unlicensed, meaning you'll get San Francisco name and colors, but you won't get San Francisco 49ers name or logos. We've now noticed, and Topps have noticed it too, and I'll explain to you here in a second, that Topps is realizing, hey, you know what? The product is not resonating without the logos, so we may just want to not push so much in product with our exclusive athletes into unlicensed products. So even though we have Jaden Daniels under contract, we may not necessarily want him to be using our equity of having his autographs that we're contracted to be in a product that's not licensed, where the consumers are not really enjoying that. So you could tell, like, sometimes I'll have products sitting on my shelf like a Topps Chrome basketball. I mean, where are you going to get Wemby autographs at? Where are you going to get Curry autographs at? You can get them in the Topps Chrome product, but it's under $200 because it's not licensed and people are just not a fan of it. They're attributing it similar to like Leaf or, Wild Card, one of those that don't have the licensing for NBA, NFL, or MLB. Still, this immaculate football product is a good product. And what I do like about the stuff coming out late is that you know who to collect already. In the old days, when I say old days, I mean like, I don't know, pre-pandemic, 5 years ago, product would come out before the season would start or during the season, early parts of the season. So you're crap shooting who you should be collecting because you just don't know what it looks like at the totality of the season. If you think about 2023, Anthony Richardson was the 4th pick, right? And so he was a hot name as you're seeing the product come out. People wanted his autograph. He'd signed these little tiny AR. It was a really poor poorly efforted autograph product. But people wanted him because they looked at him as a starting quarterback for the Colts, looking as a number 4 pick. This guy was going to be somebody that was going to be a long-term franchise-level quarterback. Fast forward now today, as in 2025, the guy is now second string. He's behind Daniel Jones, who's been given, lots of years to prove who Daniel Jones is. We all believe that Daniel Jones is a mid-level, mediocre quarterback, but yet he's still starting over the 4th pick of the 2023 draft. Anthony Richardson, what does that tell you about where A-Rich's market has been? He's just tanked. Will Levis has tanked in 2022 product. So as you look at some of these names and people that are being drafted, you're just not seeing the ability to forecast them. However, when you get a 24 product coming out right before 25, what does that mean? We know who the players are in 24. We know that Jaden Daniels is good. We know Ladd McConkey is good. We know that Caleb Williams is on the rise. We know that J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback this year coming off of an injury. We know that Michael Penix is the starting quarterback and Kirk Cousins is the backup. So when you have a late arriving product that has arrived well after the season is concluded, we know which rookies to be collecting, and we also know what products has already come out of there. So let's say that there's a big card that came out of there, like a NFL Shield or a logo man for the NBA product. When you see that come out, we know that the product's valuation in closed sealed boxes can fluctuate positively or negatively whether or not a card is pulled. So if a product has, like, let's use Topps Chrome Update. When they put the MLB debut patches in there, if you recall, the Ellie De La Cruz was pulled last year on the very first day of the product, like within the first hours. So when you have a 6-figure card coming out of the product, we know that the box prices will go down a little bit because we're missing one of the key cards, key chases that are coming out of there. As we keep our eye out on Immaculate, we find out when big cards are pulled, NFL Shields, NBA logo men. We know when cards are pulled, and that will ebb and flow the equity of the boxes. So maybe you wait until a card like a J.J. McCarthy 101 NFL Shield is pulled. The box price may go dip 2 or 3%. And when you're talking about a $1,500 box, 2 or 3% can mean some significant savings for you. You won't be able to pull that McCarthy 1-of-1 Shield that has been announced, but there is still really cool stuff in there that you can get. But for the most part, some of these big products, you want to be in a breaker situation. We carry very few of those as far as quantity, but for those of you that do want that stuff, we do have it, and we could always get it for you. So I'm just really thrilled about having this product on our shelf for a few of our customers that like to break that high. Another item that came out this past week for you to check out is 24-25 Optic Basketball. Now, this rookie class for NBA has been a struggle. You have some really good players like Stephon Castle, and I don't sleep on Ricochet. Zachary Ricochet, who plays for the Atlanta Hawks. He had a really strong back end of the season, averaging close to 20 points a game. This is a guy that's going to see some real numbers this year. Tall guy, lanky, can score. He was the number 1 pick. It's hard to say that a number 1 pick is who you sleep on. But again, with one of the weaker classes as far as draft classes out there, you're going to see, this guy's going to get a lot more playing time, especially with the Hawks having kind of a different lineup. Now they have Kristaps Porzingis. They have Trae Young still on the team. They've added some new pieces, and obviously Ricochet in year 2 is going to be good. Another guy, Alex Sarr, who plays for the Wizards. They added Bub Carrington. They have Bilal Coulibaly. They added C.J. McCollum kind of as a stopgap, or maybe the veteran or the adult in the room. But you're going to see some of these low-end Eastern Conference teams really have a lot of playing time for these guys. So 24-25 product has a lot of those guys on the East Coast on bad teams that are going to get a lot of playing time. And your rookie of the year out of there is Stephon Castle. So you're going to see some Stephon Castle stuff in there. And, of course, you're chasing downtowns. Really, that's what you're looking for out of Optic. Downtowns are really expensive right now if you could pull them, especially if you're first to market. So if you see some product going on the market and it's secondary, My suggestion, if I could give you any, is wait until it cools before buying first to market. Now, if you pull something out of a box and you pull a downtown, I would say go to market as fast as you can. However, if you're interested in buying something, I would wait to buy secondary market single cards of downtown, because obviously first up, everybody's going to jump all over it. If it's a follow-up, second, third, fourth time that the card's been on the market, you'll see a slight dip, and I would buy that dip rather than paying big bucks for the first one. So that's what I would suggest. So those are the two products that are coming out. We have it on our shelf for Optic basketball at $4.25 a box. We have a very limited amount of boxes, so please come on by and check it out. So those are some upcoming ones. Now, we have something called Topps Hobby Town Hall. As dealers and breakers, Topps meets with us virtually through a Zoom about once a month, maybe once every 45 days. And they give us news and updates of products, releases, things that are happening within the industry. And this most recent one that just happened this week had some really interesting stuff in it. So I'll start with the boring, easy stuff first and then drop some bombs on you here in a second. The first part is that I would tell you that there are excited about a release that's happening, which is going to be on the last week of October 25th. They're officially launching Topps NBA flagship. So this is the first chance that Topps is going to have NBA licensing on their product. So you've seen them come out over the last year with product that has like the color of their jersey. So you'll see the Kings colors, black and purple, but it won't have the Kings anything on it. It doesn't say Sacramento. It doesn't say Kings. All it shows is just this black jersey, their number, and the player dribbling or whatever they're doing. Not exciting. So for the first time in many, many years, Topps is going to have the licensing for basketball. And on Topps, Topps is really excited to be launching the flagship on October 25th. So it's your first chance of seeing a product that's going to be coming out with Kings logos, Lakers logos, etc. And you're even going to get to see Luka in a Lakers jersey, which is what a lot of people come in and ask about. So pretty interesting stuff. The other thing, too, is we're looking at, let me save that information for you in just a second. Let me go back to my notes here so that way I don't miss this one. They are answering questions. So there is a 2025 Topps Chrome buyback. And what they've done in previous years and happening this year is the AL MVP and the NL MVP, whoever wins, their base and refractor cards of base are going to be used for you to be able to come into our shop as one of the participating local card shops and use that as a redemption card of value, so you get trade credit within the store. So, for example, it's highly likely that Shohei Ohtani is going to be this year's upcoming 2025 NL MVP for the Dodgers, meaning he did that last year. He was last year's MVP, and then the year before that, he was the MVP for the American League because he had won then. So Ohtani is highly likely to be that one. So if you have the base card Ohtani that you pulled from Topps Chrome, that's going to be worth $20 in shop, $40 for refractors, and if they're number of refractors, it goes all the way up to value of $200 store credit in the shop. We use that. We get redeemed back. Topps pays us back, so we can use that for you to be able to use this credit in the store. However, on the American League side, it's highly, well, I don't know about highly. It's likely that Aaron Judge is going to be your AL MVP for 2025. He's still hitting first as of what we speak right now. He's hitting around 333. He's first in the league in batting. He's like second in home runs. I mean, he's playing for the Yankees, but the Yankees really aren't contending right now. They might sneak into the playoffs, but they're right there in that mix for wild card. But what happens if Cal Raleigh, who plays catcher for the Seattle Mariners, wins? What if he wins MVP? Well, that's a problem because Topps did not include him into the 2025 Topps Chrome product. So they have a contingency that they announced. He will be in Topps Chrome update for sure. So not Topps Chrome, but the update version, which is where they drop MLB patches into. Cal Raleigh will be into that. So if he wins, the Cal Raleigh cards that come in Topps Chrome update later on will be part of that redemption value. He's leading the league with nearly 50 home runs. His team is contending in the AL West. So you have this possibility where Topps went, oops, we messed up. So there's that. They are announcing their next Topps Rip Night, which is going to be February 21st, 2026. I'm going to look to see when that coincides. I have a feeling I know when that might happen. Let me just do a little research about that. Super Bowl is February 8th, 2026. So the next Topps Hobby Rip Night at stores like mine will be on the 21st of February, 2026. Okay. A couple more products to let you know about that Topps told us. Topps Chrome Tennis releases this fall. It was a dud last year. Didn't sell well. I think I had it on my shelf at 160. It eventually got all the way down to where I start basically giving it away at $100 a box. They had Carlos Alcaraz, and there was another Chinese player. I can't recall her name, female tennis player. They were the two chases. Agassi had autographs in there. And yeah, it was a product that didn't resonate well. I think that they've revamped the product. If you like tennis, Topps Chrome Tennis will be coming out this fall. And then the big one, 2025 Bowman Chrome Baseball was supposed to come out on September 10th. However, they pushed it back. It looks like it's going to be the last week of September. I don't know why they made that back end issue, but they are delaying it. Now, we're going to do pre-orders on this. So starting on as early as September 10th, we're going to make the announcement for you to be able to do pre-orders. Right now, as it speaks today, it looks like it's projected to be on the shelf in shops at retail at $3.49 a box. One autograph per, similar to what you'll see in Bowman paper, but you're going to get the Chrome version. $3.49 a box is what its suggested retail is at this time. We're going to be at least no higher than about $3.25 on the pre-order. That's exciting because you're going to get to save about $25. We'll let you know when that pre-order happens. You'll be limited to one box per customer for the pre-order. We don't want somebody buying 85 boxes from us and then just scooping them all up. So one box pre-order per customer is going to be allowed. Those will go on pre-order on September 10th for what's projected to be a September 25th release date for 2025 Bowman Chrome Baseball. Okay, so what are some of the big news that came out? Now, something that just kind of snuck through that shocked me was they made a little comment near the end, and it wasn't a big deal. They didn't make a stink about it, but it caught my ear and it threw me off, and I went, whoa. The announcement that they slipped in there that they just mentioned in casual passing was that Topps was not going to be releasing any football product for 2025. What? That's a big deal. Think about this. All of the stuff that you saw this year for Topps Finest, Topps Chrome, Topps Signature Series, Topps Resurgence, all that stuff that was made for 2024, they're not making it for 25. They're saying we are not releasing anything in 25. What? So they're just saying, Panini, this is your last hurrah. We're going to get out of your way. You're going to enjoy putting out, 2025 Score, 2025 Elite, 2025, anything that you have. And Topps and Fanatics are just saying, we're just going to sit out the season. Now, what I see is that they're going to wait until it's rumored. I guess you could say it's maybe factual, but they're getting the license the second, they being Topps and Fanatics, are getting the license the second that the 2025 season ends, which is Super Bowl, the 6th of February, 2026. So officially, they'll have their licensing February 7th, 2026. That's when I think that Topps will be full bore, ready to go with their product for 2026. Now, what could happen? For those of you that have been in this hobby longer than 10 years, you may recall that in 2021, 2022, there was a product, 2020, I'm messing up here. It's been a long time since I said these years, so let me start over. In 2011 and 2012 and 2012 and 2013, Panini came out with Prism for the first time. It was their release debut product of Prism. They had just gotten the licensing to use for Prism, and it's one of the iconic sets of all time. And the reason why it's an iconic set is because it was a double class. If you recall, Anthony Davis was the number one pick, and then following that year, Kyrie Irving was the number one pick. And what they did was they jammed both classes together inside of the same product. So they didn't have any releases for the rookies in 2011, 12. Remember, NBA uses 11, 12. They use 2 years to signify one season. As an example, this year the Kings are playing 25, 26 NBA season because it overlaps between both years. So in 2011, 2012, and 2012, 2013, Panini did a double rookie class product, and it was insane when you think about the names that came out of there. Let me just throw some off the top of my head. And for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you see that I take very little notes, but this is just off the top of my head. So Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Tobias Harris, Isaiah Thomas, Vucevic, Jonas Valanciunas. I'm trying to just think who else is going to be in that product. Just insane. Bradley Beal, Harrison Barnes. Who was in 2020, 2012 Panini Prism? I'm Googling rookie class. I said Klay Thompson. I said Kawhi Leonard. Dame Lillard. Huge names coming out of that product. And refractor versions came out of there. Green limited prisms came out of there. I said refractor, but that's a proprietary to Topps name. Prisms were in there. Gold numbered to 10 prisms, which I was collecting at the time, was insane. I had no clue what I was collecting at that time. I ended up selling all of them later on, but what was I doing? I should have kept all those because they're worth a fortune right now. Commons of that Prism Gold 10s are going for, $1,500. So could it be that Topps is waiting for the entire season of 2025 and saying, have Shedeur, have Travis Hunter, have them to yourselves, Panini, because you signed an agreement with Travis Hunter and Shedeur to have autographs in product. We're good with you running the shop in 2025, but when 26 comes, we're taking over, and maybe they do a double class. And you know who's potentially in this double class? Let me see if he's in here, if he's eligible. Draft eligibility. Okay. One of the biggest names that could possibly come out. Arch Manning, who plays for the Texas Longhorns. He's our starting quarterback for the Longhorns. Pedigree of a name that's insane, the Manning name. And he is going to be eligible and highly likely to be the first pick in 2026. His cards will be through the roof fire because he's clearly the number one pick, provided that he stays healthy and has a decent year. The chances of him being number one in 2026 is big. So imagine that double class. We'll be able to see the season that has been in 25. So maybe Travis Hunter has an insane season and Trevor Lawrence is throwing him bombs and he's playing great cornerback. Maybe Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel end up being the rookie quarterback that ends up starting for the Browns and being their leader. You've got other players. You've got Cam Ward. Could Cam Ward turn into something special for the Tennessee Titans? Who knows? But we will know what the rookie class of 25 looks like before Topps takes over in 26. So imagine this double class of you have Cam Ward in Tennessee licensing and autographs because Topps has that exclusive with Cam Ward. So he's signing autographs in Topps products in 26. You've got Shador and Travis Hunter, I believe they only signed 1-year agreements with Panini, meaning that they're going to probably sign a new agreement with Fanatics, meaning that you're going to have Shador and Travis Hunter on card, Topps products like Chrome or Topps flagship with Shador and Travis Hunter autographs on there. Really good stuff. Could it be a double class? I say it's a yes. I think that's what's going to happen, and I'm excited to see what happens there. So for them to for Topps just to mention it like, oh yeah, we're not doing something this year, kind of threw me off. But let's stay tuned. Maybe the double class happens. And if it does, Arch Manning, Cam Ward, and all these other guys, there's projected to be 4 quarterbacks in the first 10 picks of 2026 draft, led by Arch Manning. Pretty impressive. I'm excited about next year too. All right, let's kind of wrap today up. I know that we have a lot of stuff coming over the next 60 days. I'm pretty exhausted about kind of all the stuff that we're running. But one thing that's pretty exciting is I'm making a commitment to have an autographed guest at every single month, once per month in our store, in order to generate some excitement and get you guys a chance to meet Hall of Famers, stars, players of yesteryear that you're going to remember. And so right now, after the Autograph Expo, I'm going to take about a week vacation. Our team's going to take a break. We'll probably close the store for a couple days after, reopen October 1st, with some really cool stuff that we're going to be doing coming up over the next few months. And one thing that we're going to do is we're going to, of course, have Rip Night, Junk Wax Rip Night on the 7th. But on the 15th of September, we're going to start our submissions with CGC. Those of you knew that I was going to be announcing a new secondary brand that we could send to. I'm getting the pricing together, but it looks like CGC pricing is going to be right around $18 a card to get your card graded. Now, you may say, well, CGC isn't the same value as PSA. You're correct. But some of you are loving just getting stuff graded in order to put in your personal collection and stash it away forever. And some of you ask me, Emran, should I get this thing graded? Should I spend the money? Because you know that we charge single card $30 for PSA and multiple cards, 5 or more, 25 a piece if you do in quantity. And that includes taking care of it, shipping it overnight to Southern California. We send it to one of our employees there. He drives it in every Wednesday, so we avoid the mailroom. Like a lot of group subbers, just send it in, and it sits in a mailroom for 3 weeks to a month before they even open the box and start the countdown of 65 days. We avoid all that by having an employee there. And then he also picks up on Wednesdays, so he's picking up from the PSA office as well, and then shipping it back to me overnight. So we're getting them back faster because we're avoiding mail rooms. But CGC is a great option. I love the slab, and I'm buying more CGC slabs to have you have familiarity with the slabs. They're great slabs. I really enjoy them. They have the name, they have the score on there. They have a pristine version. So a PSA 10 doesn't have a plus. Beckett has a 9.5 gem mint, or a pristine, or even a black label at the highest. There is a graded 10 as well as a 10 pristine in CGC formats, and it's affordable. And it's likely that we're going to get you down to $14 a card in quantity. So if you bring 20 cards or more at any given time to send to CGC, we're going to get you in 14 days. And I have an excellent rep that I've been assigned to, and he's giving me the green light that he believes that we could get them turned in about 4 to 5 weeks, door to door. That's my hope. I can only see what happens. But if we can get it door to door, because it's going to Florida, so I'm overnighting it to Florida. It's going to cost a little money for me, but I want to get your cards done right. And then having it overnighted back to me as soon as it's done. This is exciting. And here's the other thing too about it. They were bought, JSA was purchased by CGC. So just like we have PSA DNA where you have cards signed at the ballpark or somewhere, maybe you went to the A's game and Nick Kurtz signed your card and you want to get it slabbed and authenticated, CGC will do that for, I believe we have it at $20, which is $5 less than what's charged at PSA DNA. And again, it's going to come back not only slabbed, but also authenticated by JSA in the CGC slab for just $20. So I'm giving you options for those of you that are PSA haters and you'll never send to them and you hate their guts and you loved SGC when we're sending it. Now we don't do SGC. CGC is going to be a really great option. And they do have a ton of other stuff. They do coins, they do magazines, they do comic books, they do video games. So any of those services we're going to be able to do through CGC. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm excited. I sent our first CGC out just recently, just so that way I had the experience of it, making sure that you were not the guinea pigs. I was the guinea pig. So let's see what that comes back at. It was sent last week. I think it's going to be just fine. September 15th is our target. And finally, as I wrap this up, it's a little bit farther down the road, but our 4-year anniversary for True Sports Cards being an open store is pretty exciting. We're going to be having that the weekend of December 6th. December 6th is when we're having our very exciting 4-year anniversary. I can't believe it. I've had the store for a year longer than Beckett's been born, and Beckett's kind of our mascot. Even though he's my son, I love him. I don't mean to make him like a dog or anything, but he's our mascot, and it's been wonderful owning a shop. Philosophy has changed over the years. Sometimes we were selling to repackers, sometimes we were selling to whatnot audience, but it continues to come back to the core of what I want when I had my shop open 4 years ago. And I'm more committed to that same idea of what I want. And that's a local card shop where people could come in, bring their kids, rip packs in store, enjoy times together, share big pulls, make some trades, be a safe place for the hobby. Know that you can come into our store and not have to hear bad language, because we as team members and owner of the store won't allow that to be said in front of children, or even just generally said. We want to make sure it's a safe environment. When I bring my son in, and when Beckett's a little older, I want to be able to go to a place where they don't have to hear F-bombs or S-bombs or cursed language. And that's important to me. You're going to hear music in there, and we're going to be jamming, but you're not going to hear inappropriate stuff. And if it alienates us, so be it. I want an environment of a shop that I could be proud of, that Beckett could be proud of, that our community could be proud of. And 4 years in, I'm excited. And let me drop this last bomb on you in our last 30 seconds. On December 6th, in store, we have Matt Williams, the San Francisco Giants legend. He will be there during our grand anniversary time. We'll have lots of food. Matt Williams will be signing autographs. He's a ticketed event for Matt Williams to get your autographs. But how would that be to meet a legend and a home run stud for your San Francisco Giants? The third base coach now, Matt Williams, will be there December 6th. Exciting times. Guys, it's been a long hour. Thanks for being here. If you've been listening this whole time, let me tell you what I've been doing. What I've been doing is I've been screaming for Beckett to get down off that shed, because we're out there having a great time at his birthday party. Love you, son. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll be back next week live with me and Whitey Gleason, my co-host, along with Dan Anderson from Mojo Break. We'll have a great time talking about breaks, and we'll see you next week here every Saturday, 10 a.m. on the True Sports Card Show.